Hi guys, and happy December! This is the first process video for my December album, and if you watched my previous plans walkthrough video, you'll see that I had already done that page, the little circle page, inspired by Paige Evans, and what I want to do is create an accompanying page for it. So on the back of that, I'm going to use this tag to do my journaling about the full page photo on the right there. So I'm just using a pencil to roughly mark where it's going to go on that circle so that when I type my journaling, it doesn't overhang the edge. And then look at me putting string through the tag before I stick it down. Maybe I am learning after all. So then all I'm going to do is just stick that down roughly where my pencil marks were, so I'm going to use that as a guide, and then I'll just use my scissors just to trim around the edge to make it flush with the circle. So like I had said in my previous video, I had just created myself a cut file of that sort of viewfinder looking shape that, you know, is very popular at the moment. I just made one for myself, cut that on my Cameo, and then just backed it with photos of my Christmas ornaments as I was putting them onto the tree. So then, because I've got those little photos in there, I didn't feel like I needed a super clear photo of the tree. Instead, I had one that was actually an accident. My camera wasn't set to autofocus, so when I took the photo, I ended up with this blurry as photo. But I actually really liked the look of it, and so I decided to use that one. So it's got this big blank space at the top there and a little lily lying under the tree. So this stamp here under the tree was perfect. That's from Kelly Stamps. My stamping, however, was not perfect. I don't know what happened there. It looked hideous. So what I thought is, okay, well, I'll go off camera and I'll attempt to double stamp it, and that did not work either. So instead of reprinting the photo, because like it's 6x8, I had to use a whole A4 sheet of photo paper. I didn't really want to waste the paper and the ink and reprint the photo, so instead I used a gel pen to sort of fill in the blanks where it hadn't stamped properly. It's not perfect, but I'm gonna live with it because I hate the waste. So it just needs a little something extra, I think. You know, it's December, it's my December album, it's just about always going to need a little something extra. And so one of the trims I had picked up this year was this beautiful gold star trim. So I think I'm going to put that along the right hand side there. So I'm just measuring out roughly how much I need. And then I'm just going to stick it down with a little bit of double-sided tape. So I had thought maybe I would like stitch it onto the top of the page protector, but because I don't have anything for the back of this photo yet, I decided instead I would just glue it onto the photo, and that way I don't need to worry about filling in the back of this one just quite yet. I'm not going to glue down every little star, they're all joined together fairly securely, so I'm going to tape the bottom one and the top one, and they didn't measure out perfectly, so I'm spacing them so that the top and bottom one runs off the page, and I'll just trim that down. They're sort of puffy, but they don't really have like filling or anything in them, so when I cut them it was fine. Nothing like spilled out of them is what I mean. And my original plan for this page was, because the lights on the tree are all sort of bokeh-y, I had wondered about maybe adding some sequins in as well, sort of on top of a few of the lights, just to add a little more sparkle, a little more colour. And I do try for ages to make this idea work, because it worked so well in my head, but when it comes down to it, it just didn't translate onto the page quite as well as I thought it would. And so in the end I decided scrap the sequins. It's got enough sparkle with the star trim there, and I know it's not like me to decide not to use sequins, but that's what I'm going to do. So I'm just going to leave it like this. I guess it's as simple as it gets for me, and to prove that point I'm going to pop it into the page protector, and that is this page done. So this is how it will look in the album, and I'm really happy with it. You can see the stamping's not perfect, but it's close enough for me. Now if you want to get technical, this is the photo for the 1st of December, so this will actually be going first in my album. We're in summer here, we've just December 1st, first day of summer, and we're in the middle of a bit of a heat wave at the moment, which is very unusual for this time of year. So I took this Snapchat photo and added the filter with all the temperatures for the day, well, for the afternoon on it. And then all I'm doing is just adding some of these beautiful wood veneer alphas to spell out the word summer on top of that. This is definitely some unusual weather for us, so it definitely deserved documenting in this album. What's the weather like where you guys are? Are you in summer or winter? Have you got snow yet? I really love how we all have such different experiences of this time of year. Usually it's probably a bit wetter than it is at the moment, so it's been nice to see so much sunshine. Now, because that photo was a Snapchat photo, it didn't fit a 6x8 protector. I really liked the size of it as it was, so I'm just gonna pop that into the page protector and use the fuse tool to just create a little pocket off the side. Now probably I could have just trimmed down the page protector, but I'm gonna add some sequins, of course. Now I haven't let my fuse tool heat up quite as much as I normally would have, so I'm just going to fuse the back of it as well. So that's a little tip for you if your fuse tool isn't quite hot enough. I do tend to fuse both sides of the page protector just to make sure it is fully fused. Now I was trying to choose which sequin mix from the Stamp Spot I was going to use. I really loved the blue and pink one, but just because I'm not sure what's going to go on the back of this page, I'm going to go for something a little bit more neutral, and this mix has some beautiful wood grains in it, which will go nicely with the wood veneer that I've already used. Now you'll see I still haven't worked out a really great way to do this yet. I tried a spoon. What I need is a small spoon, but all I had is a little teaspoon, and it's still too big. So I'll get there eventually, I'm sure. So I'm just going to open the page protector at the top, and I decided it was easier to put the sequins in a little bowl and try and spoon them out from there. I did miss some of them, so little spoonfuls, not a huge spoonful to start off with, is probably the best bet. I've got enough in there, I didn't need all of them that I had poured out, so I think that's enough for this tiny little pocket, so I can use my fuse tool again and just fuse that shut. And then that is this page all done. At this point I didn't know what I was going to put on the back of it, but since I filmed this video I've actually printed out the Making Merry printable from Brandy Kincaid. I used her traveler's notebook sized one and then resized it to fit into this pocket, and I've popped that onto the back. There's a couple more videos on screen if you want to keep watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you next time. Bye!